Sophia Hart was a woman of timeless grace, her presence commanding attention without needing to demand it. At 61, she carried herself with a quiet confidence that came from years of navigating life's complexities. Her silver blonde hair fell in soft waves just past her shoulders, catching the golden light of the setting sun as she moved. Her deep blue eyes, framed by long lashes, seemed to hold an ocean of unspoken stories, their gaze both calming and magnetic. Her skin, fair with a soft glow, bore the faintest lines that spoke of laughter and experience rather than age. High cheekbones and a strong jawline gave her face structure, while her full lips often painted a subtle berry shade, curved naturally into a smile that was equal parts kind and mysterious. That evening, Sophia wore a light blue blouse with rolled-up sleeves, paired with crisp white slacks that complemented her tall, slender figure. She had an understated elegance, enhanced by simple pearl earrings and a delicate gold bracelet that shimmered with her every movement. It had been an ordinary day, filled with gardening and errands, until Sophia found herself locked out of her home. Her purse and phone sat mockingly just inside the door, her spare key with her daughter, who was out of town. After a moment of frustration, she decided to seek help from her neighbor, Ethan Blake, the enigmatic man who lived across the street. Ethan was something of a mystery in their suburban enclave. In his early 60s, he was tall and broad-shouldered, with salt and pepper hair that hinted at a youthful vigor beneath his reserved demeanor. He had moved into the neighborhood 3 years ago, and while he was polite, he kept mostly to himself, leaving the neighbors to speculate wildly about his life. Sophia had always been too focused on her own life to pay much attention to the rumors, but tonight she needed his help. As she approached his ivy-covered brick house, she noticed the faint glow of lights through the curtains. With a steadying breath, she knocked on the heavy oak door. The sound echoed, and for a moment, she wondered if he'd heard it. Then, the door opened, and there he stood, dressed casually in a dark button-up shirt and jeans, his presence filling the doorway. His green eyes met hers, and for a moment, neither spoke, as if the evening air had thickened with something unspoken. "Sophia," he said finally, his voice low and steady, "to what do I owe the pleasure?" She explained her predicament, feeling a bit foolish but grateful for his calm demeanor. He invited her in without hesitation, leading her into a warmly lit living room that was both minimalist and inviting, with bookshelves lining one wall and a faint smell of cedar lingering in the air. Ethan handed her a phone, but as she dialed, the line was met with static. "The storm earlier must have knocked out the cell tower," he said, glancing at the window where raindrops still clung to the glass. Sophia sighed, unsure of what to do next. "You're welcome to wait here," Ethan offered. "I have tea, or something stronger if you prefer." There was something in his tone, an ease, a quiet charm, that made her agree. He disappeared into the kitchen, returning with 2 glasses of wine. They sat across from each other, the initial awkwardness melting away as they began to talk. Sophia learned that he had been a history professor before retiring, his life filled with travels and stories that held her captive. In turn, she shared her own tales, her laughter filling the room as they found common ground in unexpected places. As the evening wore on, their conversation grew more personal. Ethan spoke of losing his wife years ago, the pain still evident in his voice, despite his composed exterior. Sophia found herself opening up about her own struggles, the loneliness she sometimes felt, the weight of starting over after her divorce. Their shared vulnerability created a connection that felt both surprising and inevitable. There was a moment when their eyes met and held, the silence between them charged with something neither could deny. Ethan leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady. "Sophia," he said softly, "I've admired you from afar for a long time." Her breath caught, a mix of disbelief and exhilaration washing over her. She didn't know what to say, but her heart answered for her as she closed the space between them, her lips meeting his in a kiss that was both tender and electric. The rest of the evening unfolded with a natural ease, their chemistry undeniable as they explored the depth of their connection. Ethan's touch was gentle yet assured, his hands tracing paths that made her feel alive in ways she hadn't in years. Sophia, in turn, found herself letting go of the reservations she had held on to for so long, allowing herself to be fully present in the moment. Their passion was matched by a sense of comfort, as if they had known each other far longer than they actually had. By the time dawn began to break, they lay tangled together on the couch, their laughter and whispered conversations filling the quiet of the early morning. Over the following weeks, their relationship blossomed. They spent evenings cooking together, sharing stories and dreams, and rediscovering the joys of companionship. Sophia found herself looking forward to their time together, her days brighter and her heart lighter. Ethan, too, seemed transformed, his once guarded demeanor giving way to a warmth that reflected the happiness she brought into his life. Their neighbors, initially surprised, soon accepted their relationship, often commenting on how happy they seemed. For Sophia and Ethan, their connection was a testament to the idea that it's never too late to find love and that sometimes, the most unexpected encounters lead to the most meaningful relationships. Their story was one of discovery and renewal, proving that even in the quietest corners of life, romance and adventure could still be found.